Madden football is the home of the Super Bowl.
The long fortnight of Super Bowl week is over, and away we go in Super Bowl 58. And we will not have a return, so the first drive of this Super Bowl will begin at the 25. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. And they will be led out by a guy certainly still trying to prove himself here in the league, the young rookie quarterback.
And as we know and as we've discussed here in the run-up to this game, this is history in the making. The first rookie quarterback to ever start in a Super Bowl. An absolutely tremendous accomplishment, something no one else has done. But he doesn't want to just go down as the first to make a Super Bowl. He's told us all week he's here to win it.
Oh, nice move. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. 2nd and 4. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now a throw left sideline here is complete. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They'll look to throw again. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. Here come the Bengals, and CD, of course, it's Joe Burrow out of LSU at quarterback.
And no doubt he's living out a dream right now. He's had dating back to his first days of playing football as a kid. But he certainly can't get lost in the moment right now. There's still a Super Bowl to be played, and his offense, they're looking to him to be their leader. You can take it all in when it's over. Right now, you've got the biggest game of your life to win.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll look to throw here. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. A first carry here for Joe Mixon. Gets around him. 10 yards there on a Bengal first. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
They will throw on 1st down with Burrow. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. Off the play fake, here's Burrow. This goes out wide from Mixon. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. That one taken in by T. Higgins. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 23 yards, the final tally. They clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease, feels good about what he's doing. And I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that, and I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. Spins away, and he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
Throwing again, it's Burrow. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Now it's Burrow. Now Burrow loses the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
McPherson's kick is good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. 2nd and 3. And quick throw here, that's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. His 2nd catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down. That brings us to the end of one in Super Bowl 58. Much more to come from Las Vegas after this. 3-0 is our score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And we are back. Biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, and both teams ready for the start of the 2nd quarter. He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 2nd and 6. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 21. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
Well, one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. 2nd and 8 coming from the 19. Up the middle, it's Cook. And he is going to be close to a first down as the tackle made at the Bengals' 13-yard line. They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. To the sideline, and that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. He'll look to throw. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Trey Hendrickson. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
Well, that's not how you hope to draw it up there on 1st and goal, CD, by taking a sack like that.
Well, they tried to be aggressive, didn't they? They didn't want to try and work their way past the goal line. They wanted it right there on that play. Unfortunately, it backfired against them. Now they have to try and pick it up here moving forward.
A second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. 3rd and goal, a big play in the Super Bowl. Now back to throw. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
There certainly was a lot going on that play. Every option in the end zone covered. No place to go with the ball. Had to swing it out to the back. A good job running and getting him tackled in the open field.
And we'll see Younghoe Koo now for the Falcons. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Koo knocks this one through the post, and that will tie us at 3-3. They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, it's just not as much space. You end up having to take 3 there.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas.
Yeah, a little tired, and if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting off field and giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense. Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. This is Mixon on the draw, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package, and that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now Burrow. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
I'm one, ready?
2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. First down, here's Burrow. Again, that's Hurst. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball, how much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Throwing now, Burrow on first down. Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime.
From the 6 now on 2nd and 3.
On the delay, it's Mixon, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here.
They'll give it to Mixon. Stop short, down at the 1. Had the great move, but couldn't get all the way to the end zone. On 2nd and goal. Burrow. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. With a first touchdown of this Super Bowl and a long one at that.
And the Bengals will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead is now 10-3.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. But the Falcons now are going to go on offense late in this first half. With this slim deficit closing in on the end of the first half, we'll see if they can move this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 out of this drive.
That is caught by Thielen. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He'll look to throw.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And that'll bring him back within 4. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he watched that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
Fields it right around the goal line. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been.
So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half.
Next, a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Falcons. And they weren't able to get a whole lot done throwing the football. That'll likely be a big key if they want to turn things around in the second half.
But the Bengal offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. And I think you'd have to say their coaching staff, all things considered, had to be pleased with their performance in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Definitely pleased, doing their best not to show it to their team, of course, because as you and I both know, their mantra all season long has been finish. Get the job done. They know how close they are to lifting that trophy. One more solid half of football, and they can do exactly that.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that, but that would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
On third down, Burrow.
Got a man, it's Chase, he completes it.
20, 10, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Jamar Chase.
75 yards.
And the Bengals will extend their third quarter lead here in this Super Bowl.
As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, That should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that pushes the lead up to 11.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he returns this to the 22.
Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now.
They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a 2-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realized what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that can make this a three-possession game.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. The 20. 10. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. 79 yards.
And the Falcons have got it back to within a score.
Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got range, but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Touchdown. Here's Koo to kick off. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. There's a look at receiver Jamar Chase as the Bengals get set to go on offense.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well. That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Here's Burrow. And he coughed it up, and the Falcons grab it. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
So turnovers, Charles, you figure will be key in the second half, and that's a big giveaway there.
Yeah, and as you and I both know, coaches are always preaching ball security, and none more often than right here in the second half of a tight football game. Now you've got to believe what the coaches are saying and take care of that football.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
On 3rd and 1, Burrow. He's got Hurst, his tight end. And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
To the air again, Burrow.
This goes out wide for Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Throw left side, caught by the tight end, Hurst. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 26. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him old reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow. To the right side and complete to Hurst. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. They go back to the ground now with Mixon.
And they're knocking on the door now. As a good run there, going to take this to about the 10-yard line.
The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They will throw on 1st down with Burrow. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Up the middle they go. It's Paul, and he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. Open man is Thielen. It's complete.
And he's going to have a Falcons first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. We are through 3 quarters of play here from Allegiant Stadium. It's Super Bowl 58.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
And there's just 1 quarter that remains in this edition of the biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, as we get set for the 4th quarter.
And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. And that looks looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
The Falcons on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. To the sideline, and that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. Give him the 3rd down conversion. 5 yards on the play.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
First down, here's the run with Cook.
He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4 on 2nd down. From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6.
They'll look to throw.
And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
So they need 6 yards here on 3rd down. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down tries so far on this drive. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. So on 4th down, a big-time completion, and the defense, they've got to be shaking their heads right now.
Not only shaking their heads, but understand that they committed one of those cardinal sins that they say they can't do at any time. They committed an eye violation, had their eyes in one place, and allowed...
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown.
Zamir White,
a 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Falcons have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field.
And the tension ratcheting up all around. A 1-score game, 4th quarter of the Super Bowl. This is what you folks came for. Every play with the potential to win or lose a title as they look to drain some time off this clock.
On 2nd and 7,
Burrow looking for Chase on the out route. He's got him.
And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
The LSU connection, Burrow to Chase for the Cincinnati first.
Now it's Burrow. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
46 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, We're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Burrow. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, a give to Mixon. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. Once again, they run with Mixon.
Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line.
And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Inside handoff to Mixon. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. Here we go with Burrow. And incomplete on the deep ball.
McPherson's kick is good.
And the drive will wind up yielding 3. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
So all eyes on the Falcons. Down by 8, 90 seconds remaining. And they have to have a touchdown to level this Super Bowl as they come up on 1st down. He'll look to throw. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
He's got a man. Complete.
And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. He's into the secondary.
And he's brought down. 1st and goal. A touchdown and a 2-point conversion here are musts. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
Bengal Nation rejoice. Cincinnati has given you the Super Bowl title. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name